I'm actually not an app or game developer,
Oh,
but I do love and understand technology and basically use that technology to build a game centered around something that I find myself extremely passionate about, which is hip hop.
what inspired you to create the Art of Rap challenge specifically?
So, in order to kind of answer that question, I guess I'll take a little bit of a step back. Created this hip hop game, but the game is called 16 Bars, and basically, what 16 Bars is a hip hop game that's built around celebrating hip hop knowledge.
Mhm.
Um, it's one of these daily games, so if you've heard of, Wordle or Connections, a lot of those games blew up, in the last, 5 years or so, but it's a daily game, and it's a puzzle game where players take 16 tiles, which, the name 16 bars, and they group them into groups of four based on a shared hip hop theme. So that could be anything from, rappers, artists, albums, lyrics, any type of history, producers, slang, all of that stuff. And what started out was me developing this game, getting it out there, and creating new daily puzzles every single day for my own hip hop audience that, started playing this game once I launched it. But then I saw that this format could basically go beyond the daily puzzle that I build and came up with the idea to kind of expand the game and partner with people in the hip hop industry and create custom puzzle experiences to kind of help whatever they're promoting at the time. That could be, a new album, a new single, a tour, album anniversary. And kind of shortly after taking that new idea to expand and building it out, I happened to see on Instagram, Ice-T posted a promo of the return of the Art of Rap tour. And as I was building this out, I was, thinking, who can I reach out to? Who can I pitch this to? So I saw the Art of Rap. I reached out to Mick, pitched the idea, and after we had some conversations and showing him what the experience could kind of look like, he was on board, and that's kind of how, the Art of Rap challenge came about. But really just, partnering with Mick and the Art of Rap really gave us the opportunity to validate this idea of, turning promotion into participation. So really don't just tell someone about the Art of Rap, you let them test how well they know the artist. And really that just helped, demonstrate the larger vision for 16 bars puzzles, which is, using 16 bars as really an interactive way for artists, tours, labels, brands that are, hip hop focused to really engage with fans. And instead of then giving them just a post on social media that, is either liked or scrolled past or maybe commented on, we can now give them something that's much bigger than that to actually do and that's much more memorable and share worthy.
What was the biggest obstacle you had to overcome when putting the game together?
If you take a look at the Art of Rap concert lineup,
Mhm.
you'll see that it's stacked with these legendary hip hop artists, and their catalogs are not only foundational to hip hop culture, but they're extremely well known by most hip hop fans. So for me, the biggest obstacle was taking all of that available material between, songs, albums, the artist names, different categories like aliases and just things like that, and somehow condensing that into one custom puzzle that truly represents the art of rap and, the lineup. So that was kind of the biggest obstacle. But again, like I said, based on just the lineup alone, we could create, an infinite series of puzzles that are centered around those artists. Um, and, hopefully we'll be able to get a chance to do that as well. We have two elements of 16 bars. One is the daily game, and that daily game changes every single day.
Mhm.
Every puzzle is handcrafted, customized for my own hip hop audience that, have kind of been with us since day one, and we're continuing to grow that audience. And we create those puzzles to kind of challenge rap fans, and there's a varying degree of difficulty with those particular puzzles. But this is what we consider, meaning the art of rap section is what we consider our partner puzzles, which is us
Okay.
kind of teaming up with, rap artists, brands that are hip hop centered, and almost just taking that same idea and saying, hey, let's customize something specific for you, whether that be your artist, your tour, your concert, and then create that and allow you to use that as part of your marketing and promotion to your audience. So think of, Art of Rap may have an email list of, tens of thousands of people that have purchased tickets over the years of them doing, the Art of Rap concert series and saying, hey, we've partnered with 16 Bars to create this and go try and test your hip hop knowledge. And now you're actually, giving your fans, meaning that Art of Rap or whatever brand, something else to do besides just, wait for the concert that's coming up in October. That's 2 months
Gotcha.
from now. People have already purchased tickets. They're kind of anticipating, but now you got something else for them to do. And not only that, for something else for them to share online, showing that, hey, I played this puzzle for, the Art of Rap. Go check it out, see if you guys can beat, my score. And then also within the game, you got, the promotion of it, links to, purchase tickets and whatnot. We're not stopping what we're doing on a daily basis with our own hip hop audience, but now we're trying to take this idea, coupled with the assistance of, the Art of Rap willing to partner with us kind of initially as we first started this, but then taking that to other partners potentially out there and saying, hey, this is what we could do, how we could help you out to give your fans something, different than just you posting on social media. So we've got, other puzzles like that are in the fire. We got some that we released. Can't necessarily, name the people we're working with yet,
That's
but
okay. That's okay.
there are puzzles out there that you'll see. One is the Ecstatic Challenge, which was celebrating the re-release of Mos Def's album, The Ecstatic. So
Oh,
that's
that's
out
really
there as
cool.
well.
How are some of the ways that hip hop has positively affected your own life?
For me, I say for sure hip hop has given me, obviously this incredible genre of music that for me for 40 plus years has kind of just been instilled in me. And I credit hip hop with why I'm the creative that I am today. So during my lifetime, I've had a stint as being a rapper and a producer. Obviously I never got to a level that, you would know me or anyone would, but I do say that the level of creativity that it takes to make hip hop music is something that not everyone, can do, and maybe not at least at a quality level. So I say that to say that, it's been in me from, a young age. It's still instilled in me. And obviously it continues to be a huge part of my life. And just having created this hip hop inspired game to me is not surprising because, hip hop is so much in me and a part of my DNA that, it's going to always be something that, I represent. And this game allows me to continue those creative, paths that I had with hip hop and just doing it in a different way, that, seems to be resonating with a lot of people.
Who is your favorite MC and why?
Yeah, I know this is like the $1 million question when you ask someone about hip hop. They want to know, your favorite and your top five, but I've known this. My favorite MC is Rakim the God. And the reason for me is because again, I can note and go back to when Rakim came into the game and when that album dropped, and he really just changed the game and the trajectory of what a rapper or what being a rapper and an MC really was or really could be. If you take his wordplay, his lyrics, I mean, they were really just beyond what any rapper was doing at the time. It was futuristic.
Hmm.
Um, and the fact that, we can go back to that, listen to those albums and hear that the difference between that album and, some of the rappers that came before him, it's like night and day. But when you take that and then you now listen to, some of your favorite rappers today, if we're being 100, really to me, Rakim gave birth to, some of your favorite MCs because if he never came in the game rapping and, you know, spitting lyrics the way he did, who knows, what rap would be. It may not be what it is today. Maybe it would, but I feel like I gotta credit Rakim with that.
Yeah.
And then just a quick fun fact. So as I mentioned, we have the daily puzzles. Right now, today, we're on puzzle number 202, but our very first puzzle, number one, was actually a custom puzzle that was dedicated to Rakim and his catalog. And when we launched 16 bars, it was back on January 28th, which was Rakim's birthday. So we kind of tied those things together, but that just kind of shows, for me, my revere for Rakim and, his lyricism as, my favorite MC.